I'm your huckleberry.
You look like somebody just walked over your grave.
A bullshit?
I want some more. I want war with all of you.
Yo. Peace, power, and prosperity to the village gang. Once again, I have the opportunity to be here, be your host. We could talk about some things. trying to stay away from it. I really was. But I can't. Tried to leave it be, but I can't. So I've seen a bunch of those files. So we're going to chop it up real quick. Maybe 45 minutes and then out skis. All right? Y'all can get back to watching y'all sports and hanging out, drinking y'all brewhas, hanging out with the family, etc., etc., etc. You're more than welcome to talk about it in the chat. More than welcome to boost, kick your opinions, say how you feel, etc., etc. Whatever it is, right? You're more than welcome to. Salute to everybody pouring into the town square. This is the village town square where all is clean and all is fair. My co-host is back in the room. I'll kick him out soon if he keeps acting like a maniac. But as of now, he's chilling, so we good to go. Art, what up, G? Peace. I gotta flip a coin to figure out which topic I'm gonna go at first. So I have two topics. Epstein Files, and I have the Charlie Kirk scenario. So I'm juggling it. Right? But it'll be all right. So kick up your feet, relax. We're only here for a little bit of time. In and out. But y'all saw the thumbnail. And y'all seen the title of the show. Appreciate y'all for coming by. Hit the buttons on the way in, hit the buttons on the way out, whatever you're doing. Peace, power, and prosperity. Let me see. We got heads, Epstein first. Right? Heads, we got Epstein first. Let's see what we get. All right. Charlie's first. Charlie is first. And we'll talk about the Epstein bullshit that's going on. Want to say big shout out to dailyfreddo. Her name is it's either okay. It got like 3 pronunciations I came up with so far. Kasia, Kasia, or Kaiser. That's the tree I came up with so far. You feel me? So, but shout out to her. She does some dope work over there on her channel. It's called dailyfreddo. It's in the video description if y'all want to go, which y'all should go check it out for sure, because she does amazing work. And it's a pretty face to look at while you hear about some intelligent conversation type shit. So with that in mind, it's prepped. We're going to take a quick spin. We're going to take a quick spin and we're going to go straight at it. Appreciate all the support. Appreciate everybody hitting the buttons. Appreciate everybody sharing, liking, subscribing, all that good stuff. Especially appreciate the people that reach into their wallet and do a little bit of extra to help motivate the channel and to help the channel grow in itself. Like, for those who know, this is a new studio setup that I just did recently. And this is all because of y'all. At the end of the day, you smell me? So y'all already know. Quick spinny and we in. And we bike. This is dailyfreddo. This is a crazy name, but I guess it means something wherever she's from. I think Poland. I'm not sure where she's from. Either way, Legend, what up, G? Legend, here go your drop, bro. Here go your drop.
I need money.
Shout out to Legend being a supporter over here for the longest time. Let me turn up the speed on this. She already talks fast though, so I can't turn the speed up that much. She does talk fast already. But we in boom draw, maximize it, and we rolling.
Kirk said it himself. If Trump didn't win the election, Charlie was at risk of going to federal prison. That's why he cried on election day. Those were tears of relief. Those were tears that screamed, yes, I'm not going to jail. But why was he so relieved? Why was he so sure he would end up in prison if he didn't have Trump in the office, protecting him, allegedly? Today's topic is something that has been bothering me ever since I first mentioned it on one of my recent videos when I break down the Wolf and Finance episode for you guys. And at the end of my video, I mentioned this clip.
Do you know why I cried on election night?
Because you thought it was a restoration of the Judeo-Christian values that are inherent to the Constitution.
Let me tell you why, because I think you might appreciate this as a historian. Joe Biden sent the entire federal government after Turning Point USA and me personally. They want to be in federal prison. Right. And by the way, that's what despots do, not Donald Trump. Let me finish. And so when Donald Trump won, it was a sigh of relief that maybe I won't have to go to federal prison. Maybe I can actually be around my kids. And maybe we can live in a free society.
I kind of brushed past this video and this topic in general, but I decided to see if there was something more to it. And yes, there was. Boy, there was more to it. Let's watch that clip of Charlie after he found out Trump won the election.
Probably.
Guys, they just called it. They just called it for Pennsylvania, Charlie. It has
Fox
been
just called.
Keep reporting it. Let's go, baby.
Charlie, what is the
number?
What is the number?
Is that it?
You got a different type of
Remember
MAGA
where
hat.
you were when you realized that the Unit Party and all of these, just the
Yeah,
establishment.
the big
Like
MAGA.
everyone started dancing.
Just in case we won Pennsylvania. I said I wouldn't even talk about it. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got tasty cakes.
He is tearing up. He's genuinely relieved. Erica comes in to hug him.
He wearing the big MAGA joint, the joint that they created over there by TPUSA. That man shouldn't be dead. I don't care what nobody say.
He's crying, she's crying.
That man should be able to be there with his kids and his family, go to church, praise and worship, do what he needs to do.
We all thought at first that this was all because he worked so hard. He campaigned for Trump harder than anyone. And we thought he was just happy that all this work didn't go to waste. But now that we know, in his words, he was relieved he didn't have to go to federal prison, it looks very different. Because this reaction tells me that he genuinely thought he would be locked up, that he will not see his family. But why was he so sure that he would end up in prison? That was the question that was bothering me all this time. So I went back, years back, going through videos, going through articles. We are being bombarded with news every day, so we tend to forget some meaningful...
Y'all got good sound on y'all end? If y'all got good sound, just put a 1 in there real quick and we keep on pushing. It sounds pretty decent on my end. Making sure y'all got good sounds.
Details from the past. I wonder if you all remember this. Newsweek Max wrote, Biden tried to put Charlie Kirk out of business. And the article says, President Donald Trump late Tuesday night accused former President Joe Biden's administration of having tried to force conservative leader Charlie Kirk.
It's a little low. I was thinking the same thing. G. And I maxed out over here on my... Let me see if I could... That drop. Let me see if I could give it a booster real quick. No, everything is turned. Everything is turned up, G. You can hear me clean and clear, but her sound's a little low, right? She doesn't talk loud in the first place, so I guess we just gotta listen a little bit more keenly.
And his organization, Turning Point USA, out of business through a wide-ranging election probe led by special counsel Jack Smith. His comments on Truth Social came after Senate Judiciary Committee Chair Chuck Grassley, RIOA, revealed earlier in the day that Kirk's organization had been one of the Republicans-linked groups targeted by Arctic Frost, the FBI's investigation that began with Smith's electors' charge against Trump. Why was the wonderful Turning Point under investigation by deranged Jack Smith and the corrupt and incompetent Biden administration? Trump posted on his Truth Social page. They tried to force Charlie and many other people and movements.
I don't think the Trump, Charlie, Trump Jr., TPUSA, JD Vance, that whole relationship, Peter Thiel being involved in all of it is a secret to anybody, right? And we see when we look at Erica Kirk and how family gets down with military contracts, et cetera, we know that there's more than one company that comes out of that family. One of those companies there's a lot of things on the internet, right? A lot of work with cell phones and and scrubbing the internet and just there's a company over there. I forget the name of it. I think it's like Super Seed or Seed Super or something like that. And they could actually scrub people's profile. Like that's one of the things that they're involved in. Don't know why Erica didn't employ that company to scrub her profile down before all these things came out about her all over the internet. Like these things run on live TV already, and now they're on the internet. That might be in the works, right? Who knows? But Charlie was definitely a conservative person. He was definitely religious. He was definitely somebody that pushed for Trump and JD. And when you look at who supported the presidency, questions do arise simply based on the familiarity and the connections that these people have. I'm looking over here because I'm looking at Rahul. Rahul's over here tripping in the cage, but at least he's quiet for now. So, the connections with these people is serious, and I already started drawing I did this months ago when I showed how everybody's intertwined. Diddy, Puffy, Comey, Charlie, Candace, Shapiro, like they're all connected at some point and sometime and crossed each other's paths and did business or was in court together about something. They all are intertwined at some point for some reason. And I'm thinking about really upscaling it and putting it on a wall. Like, you know, like you've seen those detective movies where they have like the picture, it's like a time and place, and that string goes to that string, and there's like what's it called? Push pin. The push pin in the wall, and they just tie it off, and it's a massive web. And then even in that web, you have the Epstein that shows up in that web also. People never knew that Epstein was in Iran-Contra, right? No, people never thought that Epstein was involved in Iran-Contra. When you look at what Iran-Contra is, then you see like this dude wasn't just about what they say he's about, right? The trafficking of juveniles. It's a lot broader than that. And when you see the Epstein Files, which we'll talk about in a little bit, after we get through it, Kasia over here, you see it. So these two videos are very much linked in a certain sense where you comprehend that small guys are small fries and the big guys are the big fries. And when they call them the elites and the oligarchs, it's for a reason. Even though in my heart of hearts, I know they're not elite, and a lot of these people are part of the evil empire and have no good thought or no good intention for, let's say, the small guy, the average man, right? I think once a lot of us get to that state of recognition and realization, that's when we could say, well, you know what? Fuck that. And the little petty arguments that we have amongst each other, the little bitch ass arguments that we have that was given to us. Like, we don't really have arguments. There's a lot of arguing going on. When we start pulling back the layers of this shit, a lot of these arguments will fall apart and they will fall into the wayside. But this world is so controversial. I even see it with my views and how my views go. If I'm talking about bullshit and wild shit and drama shit, it goes up. If I'm talking about reality, real shit like that put some fat inside your brain, the views come down. People so stuck on drama and reality TV and this shit just can't be in a pot. Hey, you cannot do anything to have positivity out of it. I done cussed a few people out already on the internet. Views are up. But I'm talking straight laced. And yo, just think about this for yourself. And yo, put that in a mental centrifuge, spin it around, right, and come to your own conclusion, and whatever you come out with is whatever you come out with, right? The views are down. People pop in all the time because they want to hear drama. That's all they care about is drama shit. Like, your life in itself is just that fucking boring. Is your life that dry and boring, for real? That you have to seek out drama? My life ain't boring. It's constantly something going on in my life. Constantly. My life not boring. I don't need to seek drama from nowhere else. I don't need to go nowhere for no BS. I deal with the BS and I come home to enjoy my peace. My solitudes.
Out of business. They weaponized the Justice Department against sleepy Joe Biden's political opponents, including me. Obviously, we are not siding with Joe Biden here. However, would this huge sigh of relief by Charlie when Trump was elected mean that he did have something to hide? That Turning Point USA did cross some lines that could land the founder and other people involved in federal prison had they been investigated? Take a look at this clip and what Josh Hawley had to say.
Why do you think Biden's FBI was really investigating Charlie Kirk?
Try to intimidate him. You know, it's interesting, Jesse, when I heard that today from Chairman Grassley, something came clear to me. Charlie had said to me a couple of years ago now, he'd taken me aside at one point and said, I think that we are being targeted, that TPUSA is being targeted. And he said, you know, can you help us? And I said, anything you need me to do. And he said, well, listen, I'm just finding out about this. This has got to be what he was talking about. And now we know that Joe Biden, once again, weaponized the FBI to go after his political opponent. It's nothing but terrorism. It's an attempt to silence and intimidate. I'm so glad that Charlie was not intimidated right up to the last day that he had on this earth. That is why he is such a sterling example. But you know what? What Joe Biden did in his administration, we can't ever allow to happen again. You look at the climate they created, Charlie. We're reaping the fruits of that now. The climate of hate and division and suspicion that they deliberately created for years to try to hold on to power. It's despicable, and it's time to turn the page on it.
Of course, this could be.
Now, if you've been paying attention to the atmosphere, then we know that TPUSA has some shady dealings. And let me use my we know when you look at the books, shout out to Zach from Wolf and Finance, shout out to Danks, him and Project Constitution, that they pulling the documents out. They are pulling the documents and looking at the documents and talking about it and all the things that look shady. So at the end of the day, where TPUSA has overreached their corporation obligations and what the corporation boundaries are set forth as, there is numerous times where we could see them overstepping their boundaries. Certain corporations with certain filings can't have certain political affiliations to the point where they start, let's say, endorsing or being one-sided, right? It has to be what we call down the middle, split down the middle. So when you hear them say shit like voter education, voter outreach, certain words that they're using, those are the correct words, but the behavior looks differently. I think that's what Kasia is talking about right here. I'm gonna call this lady 5 different names throughout this whole show, but I'm talking specifically about her. I think Kasia sounds better though. Kasia. You okay? But Kasia, I think that's what she's alluding to. This is why there was some area for investigation, because they did overstep a couple boundaries.
True, they could have wanted to intimidate Charlie. His movement was growing big, but he would have probably just laughed it off if there was nothing to it, right? I'm not accusing him of anything, seriously. But I said many times in my videos that we do need to look at all the details, every possibility. And one of the possibilities is that maybe he did make some decisions that were questionable at TPUSA. Doesn't make him a bad guy, doesn't justify his unaliving, God forbid, but we can't just operate blindly believing that this man was a saint and has never made a mistake in his life.
Right.
We would be very dumb for doing that. So obviously, there weren't many conservative media outlets covering TPUSA and Charlie's story, so I dove into some liberal sources just to see what was being said. Here's an example of an article that did question the finances and whether TPUSA, non-profit organization, was legally able to campaign for Trump. By the way, I don't know how it was over.
There goes the field goal right there. I keep telling you, I don't watch people's full videos. I don't watch these full videos. I check them out real quick, run through a couple pieces of it, boom. Stop it. Just fucking stop. Stop. We're saying the exact same thing. So she's tracking exactly what I'm tracking.
In the US, but here where I am in Cyprus, honestly, we just thought that they were a political organization. I just thought they were like part of Trump's campaign. They were campaigning so hard for him. I would never think they were nonprofit. I found it out later. So, well, anyway, the article says, at this Trump-favored charity, financial reporting is questionable and insiders are cashing in. Charlie Kirk's nonprofit Turning Point USA has made misleading financial claims and gets its independent audits from its co-founder Bill Montgomery's former business associate. It has enriched several of its top leaders as it pushes Trump's message. And the article goes on to say, at the Turning Point event in June, the president addressing the crowd said, let us also show our appreciation to my good friend Charlie. I'll tell you, Charlie is some piece of work who is mobilizing a new generation of pro-American student activists. On a Turning Point webpage soliciting donations, Trump Jr., a close friend of Kirk's, is quoted as saying, I'm convinced that the work by Turning Point USA and Charlie Kirk will win back the future of America. But behind the scenes, Turning Point USA has entered into questionable financial arrangements, particularly involving Kirk's mentor, William Montgomery, the lesser-known co-founder who is credited with discovering Kirk. Montgomery, 80, an Illinois entrepreneur and one-time Tea Party activist, is one of 3 Turning Point insiders who have won lucrative deals from the group to handle its printing, payroll processing, and fundraising. The nonprofit has also made misleading assertions about its finances to state and federal regulators, according to interviews and an examination of tax and business records. I'm going to summarize for you what Candace Owens discovered. She said that Bill Montgomery and his wife were good friends with the founder of the School for Gifted Kids, where they sent Charlie. Bill claimed to not know Charlie when he first met him, when Charlie was 18 years old. But this discovery was just too weird.
This is why she's good.
And soon after they met, TPUSA was established, and Montgomery was the person who took care of their IRS reports. Of course, I'm summarizing it. There are many details. Basically, what she insinuates is that Charlie was groomed since he was at school by the people that he met for the first time later in life. And I am going to add my own thoughts to it. As long as he was compliant, he was useful. But unfortunately, he maybe started to suspect things, and people around him weren't who they claimed to be. Anyway, I'm just thinking out loud. Here's a bit of Candace's thoughts.
I want you to hold on to that phrase, I don't know you, but again, that's the same story that I was told. So I was a bit surprised to learn that there may be a larger story here. Now, Bill Montgomery was Air Force. He's in the Air Force Reserves. Bill Montgomery also happened.
So that's the Candace. Candace is the queen of exposing corruption. She is. She's going hammers.
To be from Lincoln, Nebraska, getting into that one of those Egyptian plane stops. A lot of these people are tied to Lincoln, Nebraska that are in this story, saving that for another day. Now, not much is known about what specifically Bill Montgomery did during his time in the military, but we do know that he moved to the Chicago area thereafter, which obviously in the area where Charlie's X-Men school was. The X-Men school, I just like to call it that, it was actually called Creative Children's Academy. It opened in 1982 for the academically gifted, from preschool up into the 8th grade. In 1999, it changed its name officially to Quest Academy. It tells us on its website, or sorry, in a past article, that it receives corporate and private funding from who we don't know. I would like to know what corporations funded that academy. What we do know is that it's a stone's throw from Northrop Grumman, the massive aerospace and defense company that has extensive federal contracts dating back to World War II. Just put that fact in the back of your mind. It may mean nothing at all, but I just want to say that because it came up when I was researching the general area in Palatine, Illinois. Now, the Children's Creative Academy, I should tell you, was founded by a woman named Helene Bartz. Okay, her husband is a Reverend Robert Bartz of Arlington Heights. Helene Bartz. Now, a tip that I received, and I was able to confirm, is that Helene Bartz was actually good friends with Bill Montgomery and his wife, Edith Montgomery, Edith Walker Montgomery. She actually goes by her last name, Edith Walker. The person claims that Edith Walker, who I've since learned emigrated from Germany after World War II, and I can't really find much else about her, became and this is correct, an adolescent psychiatric nurse. So she was a psychiatric nurse to the youth. And that she was actually the person that started the school with Helene Bartz. And that has since virtually been wiped from public record. But that.
So Bill Montgomery was a huge conflict of interest for TPUSA. He was the co-founder with Charlie Kirk back in 2012. Fine, mentor story, whatever. But then he also served as treasurer for years, straight up in charge of the books, the finances, the records. That's already a lot of power for one person in a nonprofit pulling in millions from donors. The really suspicious part, the 2020 ProPublica investigation found that the accounting firm TPUSA was using for the required independent audits, the ones charities need to fundraise in a bunch of states, had multiple business deals with Montgomery himself, like side contracts with his companies or whatever. Experts straight up said that it kills independence. How do you trust an independent audit when the auditor is doing business with the guy who was running the money?
Right.
It makes the whole financial reporting look shaky, especially the IRS tax forms, right? When cash was pouring in like crazy. On top of that, Montgomery's businesses got paid by TPUSA for printing, payroll stuff, fundraising help, big checks going back to him while he was treasurer. They said it was all kosher under their conflict rules, but come on, it smells like insider enrichment. So yeah, co-founder, money guy, tied to the auditors, getting paid by the organization. That's not random. It raises legit questions about whether everything was as transparent as they claimed. Just something to keep in mind when we talk about TPUSA's early days and all the money flowing through it. And the shady business was discussed.
Just like we talked about just now when we brought up connections, right? It's more connections after more connection after more connection. It's constantly a string that's tying these things together. Nobody's being lost and bamboozled. The strings are there. The connections are there. The one thing that travels with you a lot of time is your name, your company's name, the IRS filings, right? These things are there. So you got these hunters, these super researchers that get down into the mud and go pull the data out. You got to give them a salute, right? So salute to y'all. I'm not a researcher. I have a whole other job. I can't devote the time that they can devote. That's the reason why I give them shout outs for doing their job and playing their part inside this madness that we locked into. Right? And sometimes you gotta shut the fuck up and receive the information. Everybody got something to say. Everybody got something to say, dog. Sometimes you just need to relax. Take a breather. This damn thing right here, boy. He need his nails clipped. I gotta clip his nails. Can you talk a little faster? Can you listen a little faster?
By Zach from Wolf
It's a fair trade, isn't it?
and Finance, who explained that TPUSA as non-profit shouldn't get involved in political campaigns and how it all looks shady once you put it under a microscope. Take a look.
How does Turning Point get involved in so much political activity? The only company.
This is Zach. So this is Zach right here. Go follow Zach. His channel is Wolves and Finance. This is Zach. He's the one who's tearing this thing apart. You have Zach and you have Danks, Danks. They are pulling this thing apart. Also, Project Constitution is working too. There's a lot of people working at it. You got Ian Carroll working at it also. It's a lot of people pulling this thing completely apart and reconstructing it. The one thing about when you pull something apart, you have to reconstruct it to make it back full circle. You don't just deconstruct it and lay it flat. You reconstruct it and put it back together. And then you show the whole picture. When it's deconstructed, you're looking at the sum, right, of parts. When you put it back together, after you show the sum of parts, then you see the end result. You see it for what it is in itself, just like a diagram. Just like how you have electricians, they have diagrams that they go off of schematics, right? Just like it's called a parts breakdown sheet. when you have your 1911 and you breaking it down, right? They tell you each part of it. I have the mats in my garage for these things. They tell you what it's called, what position it is. You have exploded view, right? You have X-ray views of these certain things. These things are done that way for a reason. If we could comprehend those, why can't we comprehend people are looking at this thing in a forensic sense? Because of the names and because they like these people. People will let their emotion get in the way of making solid judgment. We know this for a fact. We don't gotta ask nobody about this. Look around the people in the room with you and look at yourself when you made a decision based off of emotion. Has that been a beneficial decision to you? As a man, when you lose control of your emotion, 9 out of 10 times you end up in handcuffs on a slidey bench, headed to the precinct to go sit down. Based off emotion, you made your decision. Most times you make an emotional decision, it's not the right decision. You don't emotionally buy things. You don't emotionally, what they call a crash out nowadays. You crashing out, that's all emotional behavior. All egotistical, all bullshit, all pride. These things, the thing that tear people down and destroy what you say, your reputation and your name and all these different things. Strictly based off your emotional, the lack of you having emotional fiber, right? The emotional grounding to go through something and make the proper decision logically, because you ciphering shit through your emotional filter instead of ciphering what you're hearing and what you're seeing through your logical filter. I'm telling you, it's called a mental centrifuge. Use it. You have it there for a reason. The thing that's attached to your neck, right, ain't just a hat rack. It's something in there that you're supposed to be using. The thing between your ears, use it.
That are allowed to do political activity are up to 50% of Turning Point Action and Turning Point PAC.
Turning Point USA, 501c3, no political activity. That's it. This is where the shit get wonky at. It's more. It's more. It's more. It's more. It's more. It's more. But simply, Turning Point USA, no political activity.
What happens in the real world is that a lot of 501c3s will perform what they call get out the vote efforts, or voter education. This is defined in Treasury Regulation 1.527-6B5. Get out the vote campaigns must not be specifically identified by the organization with any candidate or political party. As long as these are nonpartisan activities, they are considered not political, and that is the loophole that is allowed for a 501c3. This would include things like signing people up for new voter registration. But you cannot be pushing for Republican or Democrat. It has to be completely nonpartisan. Here's the problem. Turning Point USA is a 501c3. They are supposed to be non-political. But then we see Erica Kirk endorsing J.D. Vance for president.
We're going to ensure that President Trump has Congress for all 4 years. We are going to get my husband's friend, J.D. Vance, elected for 48 in the most resounding way possible.
This is at America Fest, Turning Point USA's largest event, with the CEO in a flashy pantsuit giving a speech endorsing a political candidate. This is strictly forbidden under the law for a 501c3. You cannot endorse political candidates. That is political activity. In my opinion, what Erica Kirk just did was illegal. This is effectively using their tax-exempt donations to create a campaign commercial for J.D. Vance. And before you say, well, maybe it was paid for by one of the other companies that allow political activity. No, no, no. It says Turning Point USA behind her head during the speech. The tickets for the event were sent out from Turning Point USA. The fact page for the event is hosted at tpusa.com. And at the bottom of the webpage, it explicitly says, Turning Point USA is a 501c3. It looks to me like the executives at Turning Point are playing pretty fast and loose with the...
You see it now? Do y'all see it now? Do y'all really see it now? Simple and plain. Plain as day. They are doing things that they cannot do. And if you are in power, the Biden administration wanted to press down on it because they saw it for themselves and they had the data to say they are out of line and out of pocket, and it's laid flat right there. Dog, Ryan or Ryan H. Dog. He was laughing about that shit the other night, bro. Laughing about that shit the other night. No, that shit is too funny, bro. Yes, it does happen. And there's people that have proven it. And there's, yes, the specific, but you see that's geofencing also, the same shit. The same shit I was trying to talk to y'all about the military contracts that Erica people and them have, right? That's geofencing data. They geofence the data when you get to these locations. So a lot of times people just think geofencing is locking off a certain area, right? Like you geofenced in America, you can only watch the show that America says you could watch, right? Because and that's how the VPN game came up, right? So you could watch shit in Iran and Pakistan, and you could watch all your Bollywood, and you could watch your Nollywood from Nigeria, right? Cool, if it's blocked. That's not the only thing that geofencing does. And it might be something I get with Kozo, and we cipher it true, but yeah. We talked about this the other, we laughed about it the other night. We didn't talk about it extensively, but anyone knows a pattern of next level? Absolutely, bro. Yo, relax. At least spell the word differently, dog. Shit.
Laws concerning 501c3s.
I really can't stress enough that I am not a financial specialist. I have no idea about those things. I just research and read a lot and try to make sense of it as I go.
Relax.
You guys here. But imagine, all those questions were already floating around in 2020. Then the closer it got to elections and the more political activity we were witnessing from Charlie,
yeah, that's not, tell him a bit.
Questions about the legal aspect of it were raised. Let me put it on a timeline for you. So this is a timeline. April 2022, FBI opens Arctic Frost investigation into 2020 election fake electoral scheme under Biden Dodge. November 2022, probe transfers to special counsel Jack Smith, Biden appointed. 2022 to 2024 Biden term. TPUSA included in broader scope. FBI places 92 Republican-linked groups, individuals, including TPUSA, under scrutiny with subpoenas for records tied to election challenges, fraud claims. September 2025, post-Biden, Senator Chuck Grassley reveals whistleblower documents showing TPUSA targeted. Major coverage follows, Fox, etc., with Trump's criticizing it as partisan. Yes, so in September, Senator Chuck Grassley, after the 9/10, released the documents and Republicans were mega outraged. How dare Biden target TPUSA with his investigation? Charlie was a saint. Charlie was killed by the left. And now we find out the left put a target on him and his business. How dare they? Fox article said, and this is from 16th of September, 2025. FBI's Trump probe Arctic Frost also investigated Charlie Kirk's TPUSA, Grassley reveals. Kirk was assassinated last week while speaking during an event at Utah Valley University. He was a prolific conservative activist, and his massive...
Could y'all hear that banging on that cage? Could y'all hear that?
organization remains a part of his legacy. Turning Point USA recruited conservative college students and was heavily involved in promoting election turnout. In the aftermath of the 2020 election, Kirk amplified some of Trump's claims.
Spell words differently.
Utah Government Spencer Cox and Department of Justice leaders have said the suspect in Kirk's shooting, Tyler Robinson, was driven by leftist ideology, but that the investigation remains in an early stage. Authorities said anti-fascist messaging found on bullet casings, Discord messages, and other messages have helped to develop an understanding of Robinson's motive as the investigation.
I think Kasia. Thank you. Reality is this. At this point, we kind of know what happened, right? Charlie gets knocked. which shouldn't happen in the first place. He should be alive. That was going to I can barely hear you, Trin. Oh, my fault, G. Let me see. Let me turn up my output should be up. Let me turn my output up some more. Yo. Oh, that's too loud. I can hear it spinning. Yo. All right. Yo. I can still hear that. Yo. All right. I think I'm good on this end. Charlie gets knocked. Shouldn't have been knocked. But we don't know it's madness. You can't put it together in a linear form, right? And just be like, oh, okay. Buddy got up on the roof, buddy laid down, buddy the photograph that was given out, the Fed said they had to AI enhance it. So if they fucking using AI, who the fuck are we to trust it then? Think. Stop and just think and spin this shit for a little bit. They used the same AI you go on IG and the Twitter for, and you see these nice joints. They got them cans and them yams is out, right? You be like, damn, she cold-blooded. Then you realize she got 15 fingers. Now you feel like a dum-dum for lusting over a AI generated. Come on with the game. Stop. Please stop. We need to be more keen, more discerning. It's just what it is at this point. We live in an AI world. I heard a whole remix of 50 Cent, and it was AI, and it sounded like it was made in Motown. Discernment, people. Discernment. We need to raise the level of discernment so we can decipher things properly. Once again, shout out to the beautiful Kasia over there doing her thing. Shout out to the chocolate story you tell too. That chocolate story makes me smile every time. Every single time you tell a chocolate story, you call it a chocolate theory, I think. That shit makes me smile, man, for sure. LT, what's up? G, you know what it is. M Love also back in the town square. Jenna Rose, y'all already know it's a love thing. Big salute to y'all. We're rolling into the second part of the show right now. We take a quick little spinny. I probably go smack Rojo in the mouth. I need to probably clip his wings, bro. For real. But I'm gonna take a quick spinny. We're coming right back at it. I'm telling you, this next one is the Epstein Files. Viewer discretion advised. If you're kind of queasy about this type of stuff, right? And you have your own rights to be. You might want to kind of step out the building. But what I did do was this. I made sure and found a video from Nate and Valhalla VFT over there. Warrior, certified warrior. And he had the lightest version of it. He had the absolute lightest version. So I picked that one as opposed to Kim Iverson. Shout out to Kim Iverson. Over there doing her thing. She reads it. She actually reads what's going on. And it's if you want to, you could go check it out. Just type in Kim Iverson. It's gonna pop up on your YouTube. Go to the channel. You're gonna see it. And she reads it. And I don't want no. It's already sick it's already a sick thing as it is. So quick spinny. We pulling right back up. M Love, a Biff. Y'all know what to do. hold it down in the town square. Generals, big salute. Public service announcement, as nice, as pretty, as joyful birds are. I'm telling you right now, you need patience. You need some patience. I ain't bullshitting. You need patience. Epstein Files time, which I know the world is going crazy over right now. And the reason why, the reason why the world is going crazy about this shit is because you were told, I'm releasing the documents. You were told transparency. You were told that this was on the desk of Pam Bondi. You were told by the Fed that is nothing in the files. So pretty much at the end of the day, every single body is like, I've been lied to. MTG had to go on basically a war with these people about something that they promised to give to the So there was a dump of data late last year. Late last year, there was a data dump. People ciphered through it. Cool. They said they dumping some more soon, and they did dump some more soon. What happened was this. They dumped it the other day, turned around, excuse me, then turned around, removed it, redacted a whole bunch of shit. It's madness going on. And simply what we're just saying is, if you said coming in the door, yo, I got you. JFK, MLK, Epstein, whatever you want to know. We running on transparency, clarity, so we could kill a whole those things actually put conspiracies to bed. The people already have a fucked off relationship with the people, with the house already. The people in your neighborhood got a bad relationship with the town hall, with the county, with the state. Now it's the big house. The things that they cried for, the things that they wanted, less government, more transparency and truth. Fight, fight, fight. Everybody said Trump was going to come in and give it. Cool. You hear what's being said, they flat out fucking lied. There's video after video after video you could find. Upward man, my G, what up, boy? There's videos we can find of blatant lies. Kash Patel out of his mouth said, there is nothing. They seen the file, they scrubbed this shit down, shit cool, it's smooth, ain't nothing in there, dog. When the people already know from the fucking beginning, shit was in there. See, this is why I've been uneasy for 2 days now. Well, this would be day 2. Yesterday is my uneasy day. People know. There was shit in there that people really, really wanted to hear about. People know it's people's names, people behavior, it's loaded. For that raccoon face fuck to turn around and say ain't nothing in there, who you talking to? How disrespectful can you actually be? This man's second time being bad. What are we talking about, Ak? Somebody tell me what exactly we're really talking about. I'm going to piss down your back, tell you it's rain, and you better fucking accept it. The level of don't give a fuck, the level of disrespect towards the intelligence and the simple things of the basic human fucking average American is true the fucking roof right now. They push it on people's rights right now. Since when? Do we not see this as a mad world we living in? And bro just dropped it in the chat. Angry, whatever, angry something. But y'all gotta go out here and look for more drama and skin your fucking big teeth and smile on everybody's face like shit's smooth out here. And they ready to burn this whole shit down. Son. I know this is not gonna be my last time talking about it, so I won't even put that in there and say it like that, or even act like it's not more information that come out. But when you get the documents recently, 3 million plus, you know what 3 million pages look like? It's redacted. It's not just transcript of conversation. It's travel logs. It's the visitor logs. It's full with emails. It's photos, videos, money. It's testimonies that been sealed off. It's we're not saying at no time to put the victims' names out there. Nobody wants these victims to go through any more than they already been through. And if you do, you need to go back and sit your ass in a corner and get a soul check, because you probably don't have one. You probably lack a soul inside your body. The time that this thing is taken has also drawn out more conspiracy. The names ain't named for real. You see some, but people were like, yo, who is this person talking to this person in these email joints? The level of redaction alone it's you can't you gotta like, hold on, a whole page is blacked out. Bruh, shout out to my guy over there. full-blooded warrior, certified get down. I want to say it's Nate or Nick, but he from over there by Valhalla VFT. And this is not my first time watching one of his videos, but I felt like his video was the absolute cleanest. I felt like his video was the cleanest one that I've seen lately, where I could use this video as a segue talking point. So I already shouted you out in the show description. Anybody that wants to go over there, click the joint, set up, tell them, yo, we come from the village. It's FDNHT crew pulling up to show some support. Because he's not a dum-dum in no sense of it. He's not a dum-dum. Only reason I know him is, guess what? Candace Owens and us going through these files and us going through this madness with Charlie. Only reason I met a lot of these people simply because we just sitting here and we thinking this shit don't make sense. So big shout out to, I'm positive it's Nate, but I could be wrong. If I'm misnaming him, then I hope he don't come try to fight me. This motherfucker diesel as fuck. He ain't no small fries, G. Homie diesel. You about to see it right now when I load the vid. Homie ain't no joke. Homie be in the gym getting it off. Something proper, you hear me? Shout out to Val. I just say Valhalla for now. If I keep calling him the wrong name. But I think I'm correct. Yes, you are reading that right. You're reading right. You're not reading wrong. That was in the recent release. It's gonna be more. 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 And because how sensitive this topic really is, because we're really talking about young. We really talking about juveniles, right? When you see a juvenile, you say like, you know what? That's the future, right? You say, cool, man. You see a kid that's doing the right thing that's got his. I've done it. I've seen kids with the light in their eyes and the brightness of life and the desire to learn and knowing that the current circumstance ain't really what it's going to be in the end. And I've reached it in my pocket. I've spoken to them. So, yo, stay the course. Don't worry, right? Buckle in today. Buckle in today. Lock in today and be serious today. And then later on, you don't got to be serious, right? Sometimes you got to, what we call bang your belly. We say bang your belly, right? What that means is sometimes you got to eat ramen today. Eat ramen today. Eat ramen. Eat ramen. Eat ramen. Wake up in the morning, eat a ramen. I'm an egg. You come home for lunch, eat a ramen and a weenie weenie, right? You come home at nighttime, eat a ramen and add a tuna to it, right? Ban your belly today so the next day you could eat the best, the surf and turfs with the fancy pasta joint, with the mashed potatoes that don't even seem like it's mashed potatoes because it's so creamy. You have to learn how to sacrifice for today so you can live abundantly tomorrow. Yo, use words. Change them up. Stop dropping these fucking words in here. Stop doing it. Stop it. You smart. You're smart enough to have a phone in your hand, right? Be smart enough to remove certain letters and figure out what words to use to describe what you're saying. Stop doing that. Grow up. If you can't do it, just say, I'm incapable. And we will say, fair enough. And I'll send one of them fucking wrenches at you. Just that simple. You're more than allowed to stay and talk and have your opinion. That's fine. That's fine. Have some decorum. Motherfuckers running around here like the world is their fucking house and they could just say what the fuck they want to say and do what they want to do. And you can. But I promise you, it's consequences to your behavior. It's consequences to everything that you do. It's crazy. Goofy ass. Viewer discretion advised, G. Take a breath. You're about to walk into it, you heard?
That is Elon Musk. Emails to E from Musk himself begging to come to the island in 2013. Uh-oh.
Let me in. Let me in.
Yes, Elon Musk asked E in an email, what day/night will be the wildest party on your island?
Yeah, you think I want to call this guy the wrong name and get him angry? I don't. I don't want to call this guy the wrong name. Nah, I'm good. So I just call him Valhalla from now on.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody, and I'm sure you're all well aware of the biggest story in the news today. Yes, the files are back with a vengeance. Yes, the Department of Justice yesterday put out another massive drop of the E-Files. Try not to use that name because it turns out Google, Meta, TikTok, and all.
You see this right here? Y'all see this emblem right here? Y'all see this right here? You see this right here? What is that? A beret at the top here? Look at the chair that's next to him. I just call him Valhalla.
All the social media platforms are trying to limit and censor this story. Wonder why? Don't know. So we're going to try to work around the algorithm the best we can. And who's implicated this time in the new files release? Well, yes, the usual suspects, of course, Trump, Gates, Clinton, but we've got some new characters to the PDF roster that just popped up, and Elon Musk, George H.W. Bush, pretty wild stuff. And I got to tell you guys, the new files are absolutely disgusting. So trigger warning as we work our way through these documents. And we're going to talk about each person that's implicated: Trump, Gates, Clinton, H.W. Bush, Elon, and a bunch of other people. They're having a real bad day today. So that's what we're going to talk about in the video today. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let's just jump into it. We're going to first, of course, start with President Donald J. Trump. Yes, the guy who...
All right, we're strapping in. Lock in. Look, listen. Yo, he different, dog. I seen him with them cannons. That one had them cannons out. I said, say less.
As MAGA will tell you, is nowhere in the Epstein files. There's no one who's accused him of anything, right? Let's find out what the new files have to say. So this is going to be the big story of everything that's dropped so far. And also, guys, it's 3 million documents. People are still sifting through. This is just the gross shit that people have found so far. Now, this is a victim complaint summary from the FBI in the Epstein files that the department...
Hey, you know what's kind of fucked up that happened to Valhalla? When his homie, which it's his homie at this point. I know I've seen enough action. They smooth. When Buddy went off on that tirade and about Nick, he got caught up in it. And I know why he got caught up in it, but we got to hold people accountable for what they say and what they do at the same time. You smell me? And the whole time I don't recall Valhalla going at Broski. But because that's his man's. So, all right, quick story. All right. So, Paramount Tactical went at Candace to pretty much destroy and cut down her story when she brought up the guy from Fort Huachuca that was talking about him seeing Erica and him seeing these people, Brian Harpole and them at Fort Huachuca, right? So he went at Buddy and called his son and all types of shit. You smell me? So when he called bro, they was on the line, and bro kind of like proved that his daddy was there at the time. Forward some more, he gets in contact with Mitch, and because they all spec ops, we know, well, he's definitely a spec. This motherfucker Valhalla is definitely a spec op, without a doubt. And Paramount is also a spec op. Spec op meaning special operations, special operators. Means they fall into the line of like Green Berets, CUs, Deltas, all these other little special groups that the military has, right? Nate is cool. Won't be he won't be jumping this corner on the set, bro. I hope not, bro. Because I think he's dope as shit. I think he's super dope. Shout out to Creation Life Opportunity Destiny. Creation Life, that's a dope ass name. Creation Life Opportunity and Destiny. That's a dope name, G. Creation Life Opportunity Destiny. CLOD. Nice name. But yeah, so what happened is shit get a little muddy, and Paramount started to try to kick Mitch Snow back in. But Valhalla was, I'm almost positive Valhalla was there. I was driving when I was listening, so I couldn't see it. I'm positive Valhalla was there, and it's pretty much it's supposed to be three spec op guys in a room talking. And the whole time it's hella smooth, and then it turns not smooth because then Paramount tries to kick Nick Snow back in just to discredit Candace. So that's when everybody was like, yo, Paramount sound like one of those paid, fed joints. Then come to find out that Paramount had a conversation with the TPUSA guy. I believe it was the one with the dark black hair, the one that don't even look like he's an American. Colvett, Andrew Colvett. He got a direct plug from him, and there's a video of him showing that he has some inside information, which will only come from that lane. So it looks like Paramount is fucked off in the game, which kind of put a little stain on Valhalla, because Valhalla is his man's, and Valhalla really don't deserve it at the end of the day. Like, birds of a feather flock together, and I get it, but sometimes we need to just look at things for what the fuck they is, and your homie that you've been riding with for hella years could be on bullshit. And we all know that's true. We all know that to be true. You smell me? So pound for pound, I didn't even really put Valhalla in that paid opposition, right? Because I already shot the show about paid ops and how ops kind of work and how they down pressure on Candace when I made the video called Bitch Boy. What did I call it? The Bitch Boy band is back or something like that. That video kind of explains that whole scenario about how they built a whole setup to go against Candace, and she's just one woman. And people that defend her is only what you got. Coach Colin defending her. You got Jesse on Fire defending her. These guys really don't talk bad about her, and I really thought that Paramount was jacking and being smooth and being decisive and objective, and then it turns out that he wasn't. You smell me? So that's why Paramount went on the chopping block, and it kind of stained a little bit on Valhalla, but Valhalla been trucing, so it shows and proves that Valhalla is who the fuck he say he is, and he's a straight up type of fucking G. So ... Shout out to Valhalla once again. That's my dude. He don't even know me. I don't even know him. But your work kind of speaks for yourself, right? Your product speaks for who you are ahead of your time. It's like your resume. When you send your resume in, they haven't met you yet. So with me, he has a good resume.
Of Justice, by the way, put out yesterday realized they didn't mean to put this document out and then tried to delete it off of the Department of Justice website. And I'll show you right here. This is the original direct link to this page the Department of Justice put out. As you can see now, as I've tried to refresh it, page no longer found, but the internet is permanent, unfortunately. And I will have to censor a lot of what I'm saying here, just again, because of YouTube, and this stuff is just disgusting. So first complaint here, victim redacted reported an unidentified female friend who was forced to perform oral S on President Trump approximately 35 years ago in New Jersey. The friend told Alexis that she was approximately 13 to 14 years old when this occurred, and the friend allegedly bit President Trump while performing the act. The friend was allegedly hit in the face after she laughed about it. The friend said she was also abused by E. So not off to a great start with allegations by a 13-year-old child. Okay, more allegations from a different victim. That says here, at age 16, while modeling, caller attended 8 parties at E's New York residence. On one occasion, caller reported that she was sexually assaulted by E. On another occasion, 2 twin brothers, Alan and Orrin, and these brothers are going to become very relevant to these allegations here in a second, lured caller and a friend upstairs, but they escaped back downstairs. Caller stated that Orrin arred her best friend, and a third brother, Tal, arred a 14-year-old girl named victim redacted. Caller named other individuals involved in big orgy parties with her, other young girls, and older Victoria's Secret models, including Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. The complaint reported that she was a victim and witness to a sex trafficking ring at the Trump Golf Course in Rancho Palos Verdes, California between 1995 and 1996. Complaint reported Maxwell as the madam and broker for the sex parties, clients of whom included E., Robin Leach, and Donald Trump. Complaint reported participating in orgies and that some girls went missing, rumored to have been murdered and buried at the facility. Complaint reported being threatened by Trump's head of security that if she ever talked or what went on there, what she saw, she would end up as fertilizer in the back 9 holes, like the other C words. This is insane. Complainant claims to have a video of high-profile sex parties, dealing with cartels, and having witnessed Robin Leach strangle a young girl to death at a party. So yeah, that's all really, really bad. And why is this one so bad for Trump? Well, it turns out because the 3 brothers listed here that are being accused alongside Donald Trump, who are they? Oh yes, wealthy Florida brothers face trial over alleged decades of sexual abuse. Prosecutors allege that real estate trio Tal, Alan, and Orrin Alexander arred, assaulted, and trafficked dozens of women. So yes, the 3 brothers who are in this story alongside Trump and Clinton just happen to be being prosecuted for sex trafficking. So yes, if it wasn't a bad enough day to be MAGA already, yeah, it's looking even worse, as it looks like President Trump's name appears 5,362 times in the Epstein Files. Oh, almost forgot about one of the other people involved there. Yes, Robin Leach. You remember him? Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Robin Leach. Now, why is this interesting that he's being implicated alongside Trump and E? That's right, because Leach did an entire episode on E.
Financier Jeffrey Epstein. Jeff was a high school math teacher until he traded his blackboard for the big board in 1976.
Well, would you look at that? What a surprise. Shocking, I'm sure. But we're not done with Trump yet, because more documentation coming out that pretty much shows he's completely blackmailed by our greatest ally. All right, so what we have here is a FBI reporting document, and might be a little bit hard to see, but I'll read it for you. The interesting stuff here about Alan Dershowitz. Yes, he's lawyer and friend of Donald Trump. It says Harvard Law professor Alan Dershowitz, CHS, learned that Dershowitz influenced many students from wealthy families. For example, Josh Kushner and Jared Kushner were both his students. Dershowitz told CHS that if they were young again, he would be holding a stun gun as an Israeli intelligence Mossad agent. CSH believes Dershowitz was co-opted by Mossad, subscribed to their mission. And as we move over here, it says CHS advised that this was a real collusion story. Trump has been compromised by our greatest ally, and Kushner is the real brains behind the organization and this presidency. And from what we've seen in Kushner's involvement in the new Gaza project and everything going on in the Middle East, that actually does make a lot of sense. So a lot of people are theorizing, why did the Department of Justice release these files? They are so bad for Trump and everybody involved. And what a lot of people think is this. Now, a lot of people were expecting we were going to attack Iran last week. And when that didn't happen, people wondered why. Well, here's the theory, is that the reason why these new files just dropped that are super damning to Trump and his buddies is that Trump refused to attack Iran. That is why the files were released today. Basically, Trump refused the blackmail from our greatest ally, and they decided to release the files to punish him. I personally do not believe that, and here's why. Because Trump has demonstrated that he's willing to do literally anything that Bibi says. Anything that our greatest ally wants, they get. Why would he all of a sudden, knowing all of this blackmail that was on him, decide this is where I put my foot down, this is where I'm going to have integrity? Does that make any real sense to anyone? No, I don't think so. What I think happened is that the Department of Justice, whether on accident or on purpose, released a bunch of files unredacted that were probably supposed to be redacted, and now we're seeing behind the curtain. But that doesn't mean the story is necessarily over, as we see here. U.S. military tells key Middle East ally to prepare for attack on Iran. In addition to military targets, Trump is considering strikes on senior Iranian leaders with aim of spurring the overthrow of the Iranian government as of 18 hours ago. Now, why might we start a war with Iran in the next couple days? I don't know. Maybe another big distraction that we need. We'll see. All right, moving on to the other big names in the story. The next, Bill Gates. Yes, Bill Gates, disgusting Bill Gates. He is also in a lot of trouble. Yes, Bill Gates accused of twisted plot to drug his own wife after sex with girls. Let's see what's going on here. All right, so we're not going to read the whole thing, but I'll summarize it real quick before we get to the main part here. Turns out, yeah, Bill Gates contracted an STD after one of his fun little trips to Ease Island and gave it to his former wife, Melinda Gates. He then wanted to concoct a plan to drug his wife and give her antibiotics so that she wouldn't find out. And E says down here, to add insult to injury, you then implore me to please delete the emails regarding your STD. You request that I provide you antibiotics that you can surreptitiously give Melinda and the description of your penis. You also made it clear to me that I am not to refer to blank, the victim, I'm sure, as that is another topic that must remain between the two of us. So yeah, I think it's probably time for Bill Gates to get hauled before Congress, testify, and probably put in prison just like literally everybody that's involved in this. But I bet nothing happens to him. What do you guys think? All right, but we also have a new character to the story. Let's see who it is. Do you guys remember this tweet? Yes, Elon Musk said, time to drop the really big bomb. At real Donald Trump is in the Epstein Files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, Donald J. Trump. Elon then said, mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. And yes, it did come out, Elon, because, well, you weren't that honest with us, were you? And yes, that is Elon Musk. Emails to E from Musk himself begging to come to the island in 2013. Uh-oh.
Let me in. Let me in.
Yes, Elon Musk asked E in an email, what day/night will be the wildest party on your island? As you can see here, he says probably just Tallulah and me. What day/night will be the wildest party on your island? And yes, here's the conversation between Musk and E, trying to coordinate the time for him to come to the island. But I think the funniest part about the story is that Elon was begging E to come to his island, and he actually
Yeah. So we sitting back like, who is not, who is in it? Right? That was a big comment. There's a big question. Who's in the, who did what? Who, where, yo, who is not in the files? Who is not in there? Granted that these ain't, yo, I saw the homie at the Ritz-Carlton, had some beverages, we slid the block, got some more beverages in another spot at the Hilton. No. This person specifically did this to me. I'm about to play a video. I'm about to swap it out real quick. Shit like this lends credence, makes things like this way more sincere and sounds way more true. Who ain't in it? You ain't in it? I ain't in it either, G. Nah. Me either, dog. I guess at the end of the day, we some good boys, no matter what they say, huh? I just ran into this video either early today or late yesterday.
¡Humanos! ¡Asquerosidad! ¡Comieron humanos! Yo no estaba enterada de nada. Que había, o sea, los asesinatos sí, pero que habían comido humanos. ¡Humanos! Fue la carne humana. ¡Comieron humanos!
When you have people spazzing out in public, and they sound completely off their radar. People like, remember we talked about the Isaac Cappy joint where they just wrote Isaac Cappy off? Oh, don't Isaac Cappy sound way more credible now? What's that reporter named? Hastings? Don't these people sound a lot more credible now? You might want to you might want to take a different look at these people, ain't it? All of a sudden, you want to look at these people with the what they call it now? The bombastic side eye. Who is not in these fucking? Who is not in there? That's my question now. Who ain't in there? It seems like everybody in there. Maxwell is in some low security joint right now, locked up in a low security. What? Boy. They good for playing in people's face.
Is denied by Maxwell. And she responds to him and says, "I'm so sorry, Elon. You just missed JE. He actually told me he was thinking of winding down the entire operation. Bummer! ! If it starts up again, we'll be sure to let you know." Man, that's rough for Musk, huh? Begging to go to the File Island and they won't even let you come. Dang. But we also have another new character that we weren't expecting. Yes, another U.S. president, George H.W. Bush. And this gets real.
What was the Elon scandal last year when they started torching his dealerships? What was that? I can't remember. Something was going on. And they started torching them joints, graffiti in them, smoking trash in his dealer, the Tesla dealerships. Punch it in the chat if you remember the Elon bullshit that was last year. You said BJ. They banging red and blue now. Yeah, for sure. It goes like the things that we heard time and time again, trying to become more relevant. The whole world is a show. Everybody playing their part. Each man has a part to play on stage. All these things that we heard, all these things that this thing is not. It's one bird, two different wings. They act like it's this and that. These things starting to become real decently the gate of the Italian cuisine. Absolutely. It was him supporting. It was him. Okay, that's what it was. Okay. I know it was some big scandal last year with his dealerships. That's what it was. That's what set them off. Come on, man. This one right here, easy work. Easy work.
Really dark. Yes, new Epstein document states George Bush, one or senior, allegedly AR'd a male victim, child, and witnessed a type of ritualistic sacrifice. So here you go, trigger warning. And if you got a weak stomach, you probably want to fast forward through this part of the video. But here it is. First of all, from and to is redacted.
I gotta keep doing it though. I have to. None of this. If you are a woman, if you are a father that has daughters, if you're a father that has children, this thing is bothersome. We don't talk about what happens to the males enough at all. We always think it's the weaker sex, right? We think it's the weaker ones. And when we talk about the weaker ones, it's because we're framing it in adult frame conversations. We're thinking, oh, this is a woman, she's weaker, so she was able to be taken advantage of by the stronger male, right? The stronger male sex. But ain't all children weaker? All children are weaker to adults. All the children are weaker to adults. Umpteen umpteen years, decades later, we heard of that R. Kelly. When the story came out about R. Kelly's, come to find out, he was a victim. You see where I'm going with it? All it takes is vulnerability to be a victim of somebody that's willing to exploit that vulnerability for their own thing, for their own purposes, their own grimy shit that they be on. All it takes is a moment of vulnerability, and we do it as fucking max. When we press down and we see some, we take advantage of the vulnerability of this woman. It ain't for nefarious fucking need. It ain't nefarious reasons. It might be because, you feel me, we might be in the desert. You feel me? We need to wet the whistle. You know what I'm saying? Soak your wick in something. There ain't no fact. This is the fact. Yo, this is the most ungodly things ever. We're talking about the most ungodly. I don't know a God that's righteous that don't love children. I don't care what religion you're from. You say hurt people. Destroyed. They are destroyed. I'm telling you, I've been reading these things for years, bro. Go ahead.
Redacted here, which why? Why would you redact this, government? I think we should be able to see exactly who's talking here, shouldn't we? There's no victims involved in the from to in this conversation, but I digress. It says, thanks, blank. I didn't realize Bush R'd him too. Okay. Then it says, I'd like to add a few other points disclosed by the victim. He was a victim of a type of ritualistic sacrifice in which his feet were cut with a scimitar, but left no scarring. On the yacht, he witnessed babies being dismembered, their intestines removed, and individuals eating feces from the intestines. He was also R'd by George Bush 1. Now, you might be thinking, there's no way. That is way, way too much. Sacrifices, murders. Well, the problem is the government came out today and admitted those things are in the files.
Any depiction of CSAM or child pornography was obviously excluded. Anything that would jeopardize an active federal investigation. And finally, anything that depicts or contain images of death, physical abuse, or injury, also not produced.
So there you go. Government straight up admitted there are pictures and videos of death in this. Okay, so what are we doing here? Now we know children were being sacrificed, and we know who the people who were that are doing that, and the government is still redacting their names, and no one's being held accountable for that? Really? That's where we're at? Now, who else is involved in this? Yes, there's more. Here's another one. Trump's Secretary of Commerce and close friend, Howard Lutnick, who just happened to be Jeffrey Epstein's next door neighbor. Now, what makes this next email interesting is that Lutnick supposedly, even though he used to be friends with Epstein and his next door neighbor, cut Epstein off and no longer spoke to him ever again in 2005. But unfortunately, this is an email from December of 2012 to Matthew Howard Lutnick that says, hi, Matthew and Candace. Might you be able to give blank a few more details regarding lunch this Sunday? Do you know if it will just be Howard and his wife? Any kids coming along? Will they arrive at...
Dog, this is the lighter version of this. This is the lighter version. It's shit. The gay, the thing about the gay is that that's the for sure. Was a legitimate part of the band formally. You know what? That's you talking about Chester. You know what, dog? I did come across that information. Upward. Way to go, Brazy. I did come across that info. I did. I forgot about that, bro. Yo. I did come across that information, bro. I did. Quick story. the easiest way to muddy the waters and make people seem like they're just what they call crazy, and they in the conspiracy theory lane is to send in a op, right? Send in the op and let the op swear it down, but you already cleaned the place, right? It's like you send the police to do a raid. They go to the raid, there's nothing there, so you get bad info. If you send in the op, and now the op is on the news saying, I came here because I wanted to save the children that was up in here, and there's no children, and oh man, this is bad info. Now it's a certified CT. So now everybody was talking about Pepperoni Gate, right? Now they all wackos. You see it? And that's why I said it's easy that you could easily kick that in his back when we know for a fact, like that boy, that bushy eyebrow biatch named fucking Ben, talking about when they go kick Candace back in, he said, what do you mean by we know but we don't know but we know? Like, that's not a phrase that people just say, yo, I don't know, but I know. That means I can't prove this, but I know. My instinct, hunch, my intelligence, me having life experience tells me this is what this is. Simple and plain. But I can't really prove it right now. Give me a few. I know, but I don't know. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know, but I promise you, I know. That was one of his tactics he used to kick her back in. That bushy-eyed biatch boy. What? So basic sense is being destroyed. So your rights is being compromised. Your sense is being they're playing with your sense and your intelligence. What's next? Yo, it's so crazy right now, and it's been crazy. When they were talking about UFOs, when the government talks about UFOs, everybody was like, UFOs. Shit that people been talking about for 60 years straight. Yo, we'll talk about the UFOs. We talk about the OFUs, the FUOs, the everything. We talking about everything. Yeah, shit boring. That's to tell you the level of distrust. That's the level of distrust we at right now. Moving on.
JE's island via their boat, and around what time is good for them. If you could pass along when you know that would be great. So it turns out Trump's buddy Letnick, no, he didn't cut off relationships with old E in 2005. He was still doing that almost 10 years later. Whoa, shocker. And who else we got? Oh, that's right. You can't forget about Prince Andrew because he's always in these things. Here's a picture of him creepily leaning over the top of a young woman lying on the ground. Ew, gross. Now, I want us to remember this because this is going to be a conversation probably for the next video. You guys remember when the FBI director, Kash Patel, said this?
There's no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals.
This raccoon face fuck with the nose like the Wicked Witch of the East. You are fucking... Now what? Okay. Now that you are proven liar, is no. Ain't no questions to be asked. What did you say?
Video. You guys remember when the FBI director, Kash Patel,
I remember Pahala,
said this?
Listen to what he says. I think we all heard it, but let's hear it one more time.
There's no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday.
There's no credible information. My G upward sent some tree. You hear me, my boy?
I want some more motherfucking money.
Heard? My man, 100 grand. Appreciate the support, my G. Well, then you running the show tonight. Upward Man is running the show tonight with that fucking super sticker. Super sticker. Let me put your name in the banner, my G. Upper got it locked. You heard? Boom.
He trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one?
For the information that we have.
In the files.
In the case file.
So yes, Kash Patel said
the Fed. Pam Bondi said, I have the files on my desk. He's saying ain't nothing in.
probably for the next video. You guys remember when the FBI director, Kash Patel, said this?
There's no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one?
For the information that we have.
In the files.
In the case file.
So yes, Kash Patel.
But you have the file. Bro, like and subscribe, bro. I think you'll like it over here, G. We be over here kicking funk and talking shit, having a good time. And this, we don't always talk about crazy shit, but some shit you just gotta talk about, you hear me? So now you a definite liar. Perjurize this. Oh. Isn't this not perjury and shit? When you not go before the Senate? Well, no. There's laws about Senate and things you could say in Senate, I believe. But I don't think that refers to senators and represent. I don't know. But he needs smoke.
Said before Congress, there is no credible information that E trafficked anyone to anyone. Well, the files are sure showing that was a fucking lie, huh? So I think it's probably time for Kash Patel and Pam Bondi to be immediately fired and all of these people involved hauled in before Congress. And I don't know, why don't we just arrest all of them? Put them all.
Big salute to you, G. Appreciate that work you did out there. At what point? So, okay. Remember back in the G, like we saw, they used to have pitchforks and they used to have they flaming sticks, they torches. It'd be a pitchfork, wanna be an axe, wanna be a pitch axe. They just be storming motherfucking shit. Let's be honest. They need to go to put them in handcuffs. Figure it out later on. Let them all get their lawyers. Let them all plead their cases. But I'm positive that this is enough to open investigations. Yo, he and I is him. Slim, trim, and I'm built to, and I am Granny's baby. I am Flaco Fuerte. You heard? Rojo Conejo Rojo. Him himself. What you got, G? The level of sickness is place atrocious. And I wonder. Mr. Yes. This is demonic. There's no God in anything that we just heard. Dog. Yo, shout out to Upward for dropping the $2 joint. It could have been a $1 joint. It could have been a 50-cent joint, bro. I appreciate all the support. Shout out to everybody that hit the buttons. Shout out to the new people finding this channel. Y'all more than welcome to kick it as long as y'all got sense and y'all be respectful, dog. Respectable is no problems coming over here and kicking it. Pound for pound, truth for truth, light for light, and love for love. This is FDNHT. Remember this and be true to this. Love yourself so you can love the people that surround you. You take care of yourself so you can take care of the people that surround you. Life is very, very long term. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. Train every day like your marathon is tomorrow. And when you're ready, you kind of don't got to get ready. Right? You just prime time and good to go. With that being said, I see y'all very, very soon. And the closeout for tonight is going to be my G right here. Because it's Sunday. You heard? Y'all win. Y'all win because it's Sunday. Because it's Sunday. Y'all win.
Our scripture is found in, wait a minute, look at here, boy, look at here. Yes, sir. Glory. Woo! Don't sit here and try to act like you've been saved all your life. Our scripture is found in, wait a minute, look at here, boy, look at here. Yes, sir. Glory. Woo! Don't sit here and try to act like you've been saved.